Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your mountain rescue services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, in the last 18 months, I've reported several times over Cliffhanger 2. Yeah, we didn't need it, we didn't expect it, some of us didn't really want it, but Stallone was like, no, I'm going to revisit some of my old heroes and classic movies and make more of them. Yeah, he wants to do a Rocky prequel, I've talked about that. We've had the Creed extensions to the Rocky mythos. He wants to revisit Demolition Man. And of course, Cliffhanger. Rennie Harlin directed it way back in the 90s. And I've reported on it and loved it ever since. It's a classic Die Hard on a movie, a great Stallone vehicle. And then all these years later, Stallone, I'm going to do Demolition Man 2. No need, because that was an open, middle and closing story. That was it. No more to do. Simon Phoenix is no more. The rebellion is afoot. He will work out what the shells are for in the bathroom, presumably. And then Cliffhanger 2. Well, Gabe defeated John Lithgow and all these horrible, nasty terrorists. Terrorists come bank robbers. That's what they were. A bit like Hans Gruber in Die Hard. They're not really terrorists, although they're armed and equipped and funded by terrorism. But they're just bank robbers, that's all they are. But he saves the day, and lots of cliffhanging fun is had. It's a wonderful rock-jock movie, and I love it. We're hearing the great score for it from Trevor Jones. Any excuse to play this score. So for 18 months we've had Cliffhanger 2 looming over us like the edifices themselves of the Dolomites, where they filmed Cliffhanger, the first one, although it was set in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. It was filmed in the Dolomites in Italy. We had a different director back then. A director, name of, hang on, Rick Roman Wow, or Whoa. Either way, it's Wow or Whoa. He's out, but not only is he out, Stallone is out. Filming has started, and about 2 months ago I was reporting on this, saying that Stallone is all geared to go. Stallone was not going to be playing a big action-heavy role in this movie, because his character of Gabe, the rock-jock mountain rescue hero of Cliffhanger, has retired now, and he's moved out to the real-life Dolomites, the real Dolomites, and he runs an adventure sort of school for billionaires and very rich, wealthy people to have mountaintop escapades with his expertise and all that. You know, train them how to climb mountains and abseil and leap across huge chasms and run across exploding bridges. And he's there with his daughter. No mention of a mother. No mention. I mean, is it the girl from the first movie? The girl from Northern Exposure? Whose name I've forgotten now. It doesn't matter. But she was with her little pixie hair. She was great. Loved her. Janine Turner. No word of her returning for it. Or who the mother of this daughter is supposed to be. But he's there. And in one particular, this is a weekend with a billionaire's son. Kidnappers arrive on scene, and his daughter witnesses the attack on the family and the capture of her father, Stallone, and the billionaire's son. And then, with her mountaineering skills, she will mountaineer a huge rescue and attack to save her family from the bad guys, taking them out one by one, presumably using her skills and aptitude for altitude and all the knack she's learned from her father. Right, okay. That is still the plot, but a couple of elements have changed quite drastically. The director is gone. We now have director, is it Jaume Colette Serra, or is it Jaume? It's Jaume. He did Non-Stop. So what? Jaume Colette Serra is doing this. Stallone is out. He's gone. He ain't doing it. He's replaced by Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan is a bit younger than Stallone and can do action. He was a 007, for God's sake. He will be appearing in a werewolf movie, directed and made by his own son, which I reported on as well quite some time ago, although I've heard nothing about that since. But Pierce Brosnan is now playing not Gabe, our original hero. He's playing someone called Ray Cooper. Ray Cooper, who's up in the Dolomites. Again, they're filming it in Italy. The Dolomites do stretch across various countries. So the Dolomites, they're still filming there, and they're filming in Austria. And so he runs this school for like the wealthy and the well-to-do, the top percent, the elite, to learn adventurous skills. And the same plot ensues. He will be kidnapped alongside a billionaire's son and held to ransom. And his daughter, who's now played by, Lily James. I don't know why I forgot her name. I fancy the arse of that bit of posh totty, something chronic. She has the best giggle ever. A lovely big, almost Fright Night smile she's got. She's got the mouth without the need of the makeup. She's got tons of teeth. She's got more than her fair share of human teeth in that mouth. But I don't care. She's still delectably gorgeous and a nice bit of posh. Nice bit of class. Well, she's playing his daughter. Now, here's a bit of weirdness. Because I read Variety, don't you know? Variety. Yes, the trade paper for the industry. No, I get the little bits, the little headlines get sent to me on my phone. And I go, ooh, that's interesting. Or, ooh, that's not interesting at all. But this was. So she's playing his daughter. In some reports, she's called Sydney. In some reports, she's called Naomi. Or is it that there's actually two daughters? Because it could be read two different ways. At this stage in the game, I do not know. And she may witness the daughter Sydney being kidnapped as well, and then have to go on the offensive to rescue her family. Because the report then goes on to say that she has to rescue her family, which kind of implies more than just her dad and a billionaire's son, wouldn't you think? So there could be two daughters involved here. I don't know for a fact. Sydney, Naomi, Lily James. Lily James, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Downton Abbey, Baby Driver, Pam and Tommy, Tommy and Pam, whatever it was called. What was the other thing she just did? The Iron Claw, yeah. Yeah, she's fabulous. Is she an action star? Well, I don't know. Maybe she's got the attributes to do it. Because the new director, again, forgot his sodding name, Jane Colette Serra, has said she's awesome. She's learned to mountaineer, to rock climb. She's doing things. She's pushing her body. She's driving us on. Her motivation knows no bounds. There are two pictures of her that I've got, which I put on the thumbnail. One where she's actually hanging underneath an overhang, cliff hanging, literally. And one where she's sort of like just stood there in front of what looks like the film crew, looking up a mountainscape. Yes, so you want to film me climbing up that? Okay, I'm up for it with that big toothy sharp grin of hers. She is sexy. I definitely agree with that. Action chops, I know not. Pierce Brosnan, I doubt will do much, as I doubted that Stallone would do much in it. He would spend much of his time probably tied to a rocking chair by a roaring fire with the billionaire's son. And they'll tell little life stories and anecdotes and tease and taunt and have a bit of repartee, masked rapport with the bad guys and the bad guys' leader. And the bad guys, there's a load of names, a lot of them are foreign and I don't know who they are. But you have got, what's her name? Tiger Lily? No. Nell Tiger Free, last seen in The First Omen. And although I've got a lot of misgivings about The First Omen, I thought the film was very well made and I thought she was brilliant in it. So yeah, she's good. Now, is she playing, I don't know, is she playing a bad guy, one of this team of kidnappers, or is she playing this perhaps other daughter? I don't know. They haven't been very forthcoming with all these details. But they're using large format cameras. I wasn't sure what the hell that meant. Large format, is that IMAX cameras? No. These are just really, really super, they're wider and bigger than normal cameras with more pixels and stuff that they can use to get a finite detail on wider screens, so vistas and rocks. And as the director has said, it's going to be a visceral adrenaline rush for the audience. I'm going to put you on the mountains. You're going to be there. You're going to be falling off these things. Sounds great, doesn't it? Actually, it does sound great. Because that's what Cliffhanger did under the fantastic direction, taut direction, and fabulous cinematography led by Rennie Harlin, who was at the height, hey, no pun intended, the height of his game with this. I don't think Rennie Harlin ever got any better. Deep Blue Sea is tremendous fun, but Cliffhanger is a better made movie than that, I think. And you know, you guys know how much I love Deep Blue Sea. Cheers, y'all. So I think Pierce Brosnan will sit most of this out. He won't be doing the action chops. Our heroic Lily James will get on this. She's recovering from a mountaineering tragedy. Well, of course, what did Stallone's character have to get over? Losing Serra in that incident. I don't know if you can see, I've recreated that fabulous opening scene from Cliffhanger where Serra, you know, takes a death plunge. Only here, it's recreated. I mean, Gabe lets go of her, or their hands just slip, and he's like, Serra! And poor Michael Rooker, who's here played by Spider-Man, it's like, no! Gabe! I said it wouldn't hold too. But she was going to fall anyway. And Serra is here played by Bilbo Baggins. He's got the appropriate look of like, I'm about to fall to my death. He's like, ah. And Gabe is played by Khan Noonien Singh from Star Trek, of course. Why? Because he has a little black mountaineering glove to hold on to, which he will slip out of. Anyway, no expense spared in the special effects and set design, as you guys know. So she's undergone a horrific tragedy, very similar to what Gabe went through, obviously. And she's got to conquer her demons and then obviously fight to save her family. Now, weirdly enough, since this news broke, which it broke yesterday, I caught it overnight actually. Since the news broke, on various forums, people are going, oh wow, we lose Stallone and now it's a gender swap. No, you can't suddenly pin this movie as having, oh, well now we're going woke, it's a woman who's going to be the hero. The fucking story, right from the word go of Cliffhanger 2, was going to have Stallone taking a backseat and his daughter doing all the action and heroics. That was always the story. Cliffhanger 2 never had any other story to it. This was how it was going to be. So it was going to be a girl. So back 18 months ago, you could have gone, oh, that's pure woke. Now it's a gender swap. It's just a bloody woman doing it all now. You could have said it back then. Nothing's changed since then about the actual story. It's still a woman doing it. So you can't suddenly, oh, now we've lost Stallone and it's a woman. It always was meant to be a woman doing it. You've lost Stallone and gained a Brosnan. I don't know. Folks, I'm going to be honest here. You know how much I'm a massive fan of Stallone. I know the guy is a twat in real life. He's uber great to his fans, but he's absolutely naff to extras and other people, and he's really bolshy with attitude and ego. And age has not diminished that at all. Look how he's acted on Tulsa King. Well, not how he's acted, but how he's acted behind the scenes on Tulsa King. And all these movies have been mooted, and lots of other things he's got planned. They're not going to happen. I think Stallone is out, primarily, of everything. I don't think he's going to make... Yes, Armour is coming out, but what a piece of shit that looks like. This heist on the bridge. You've seen the trailer for it. That's the entire sodding movie. They can't spring any surprises. They show everything in that trailer. And I think it looks utter shit. Stallone, now, you're too old, mate. You can't do it. Which is no surprise that you weren't going to do much in this movie. Oh, he would have been the Michael Rooker, battered and bruised, and right at the last moment when his daughter's about to get kicked in the face and off the edge of a cliff, he'd be there with a shotgun, you know, or fired a piton through the last bad guy's skull. It would have been that. Yeah, daughter, you did good. Come up here, you know. That's how it would have played out, and I'm convinced of that. He wouldn't be doing much. So I wouldn't expect Brosnan to be doing a great deal. You might see him doing a little bit of stuff, scampering around a cliff face, Although I bet you the cliff face, like Batman, is actually lying horizontal on the deck and they just make it look like it's vertical and he's clambering around because he's old now too. He never was the action superhero that Stallone was. And Stallone ain't that guy anymore. I mean, no, fair dues. He's old, late 70s. Fuck's sake, you can't be doing all this shit at that age. Tom Cruise might be aspiring to try to do that, but one day Tom Cruise will come a cropper. A cruisy cropper. And of course, I've got Wolverine here reenacting Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible 2, doing his famous hanging there, for real, under a really high cliff edge, another overhang like that, with his longer hair billowing. I'm one of the few people that actually enjoys that Die Hard 2, Mission Impossible 2. Die Hard 2, of course, directed by who? Rennie Harlin, of course. But I like stuff set on mountains, and the thing is, like, they're calling this now, it's father-daughter take on Die Hard. Cliffhanger was always Die Hard on a mountain. So once again, folks, you know, all these naysayers, I mean, I'm going to call it out as being a possibly crap and straight to fucking streaming. I really don't have any high hopes of this movie now. Without Stallone's name and clout behind it, I don't think it's going to go very far at all. And I think this director doesn't mean shit to me, this director. But I hope to be surprised. Don't get me wrong. Action movies, I love them. I love them, I does. And I don't mind a woman doing this sort of thing. I don't have any truck with that. Especially when the bloody story revolves around it. You know, it's not like they've suddenly just swapped what was going to be a hero bloke for a hero gal. No, it always was meant to be this way. But where was I going with that? I've not got high hopes for this. High hopes again. Oh God, the puns keep coming. I haven't. Brosnan is not a big name draw anymore. He's not. Arguably, he never was. I'm not a huge fan of Pierce Brosnan. I thought GoldenEye was great. I thought Tomorrow Never Dies had moments, but was shit overall. And then the other two are just absolutely lamentable. His Bond movies. He's better in the Mamma Mia movies. You know, trying to sing and and having fun. He's better like that. He's better as a dialogue-free IRA assassin in The Long Good Friday. I don't rate Brosnan at all. I really don't, folks. I know some of you probably do. I've actually had a quite heated debate with this a long time ago with people who were massively fans of him, but they couldn't come up with a single example where I went, you know what, you're right about that. He did really, really well there. He's smug, he's smarmy, which is great for Bond, of course, and it's great for Remington Steele, but I don't rate him at all. And I can't take him seriously as an action sort of guy. He doesn't look realistic at all. Whereas Stallone, you know Stallone, God, even during the Expendables, he was still doing most of his own stunts, and he got damaged. Let's face it, on Expendables 1, he broke his back and his neck. You know, you break your spine, that's pretty drastic stuff. And he did it, and you see it on camera. But he gets booted against the wall, and his back just goes, oh. His back goes, oh, and we go, ooh, like that. But no, I still love Stallone in his heyday. The Rambos, the Rockies, Tango and Cash. Although it's King Care that makes Tango and Cash, not Stallone. I'll stick with that. But Lock Up, he's great. You know, there's so many great movies from Stallone, but not as an action hero anymore. And I think he knows it. And I think because he's trod on too many toes now, and his arrogance and ego has took the better of him, and Hollywood's kind of like, you know what? You stick to your Tulsa King, make as many seasons as you want, but your big cavalcade, you know, marquee movies, you can attach your name as a producer, but you're not going to be involved in front of the camera because people are going against you a little bit. because all these skeletons are coming out the closet and all that. I'm a big fan of his as well. I've just kicked him off the mountaintop, haven't I? And under the bus. But Lily James, eye candy, and she can act. She definitely can act. But has she got the cojones to scale a mountain believably? It's all well and good her learning to do it for real, but has she? She's gonna have that grit and determination to climb up these things, to reach for that little ledge there. Get your fingertip on that. Don't break a nail now, because that's gonna be certain death. And then go and beat up bad guys. Well, I think this film will have to go out a different road. She's not built to take out bad guys. She's not. And you can't. And if suddenly, she reveals she's got like special forces training, which clearly she hasn't, because they're kind of making out that she's got to overcome a lot of emotional problems because of this previous horrific accident. And she's, got to look after her dad and all this, and these are bad guys, but I can use my mountaineering skills to try to outwit them, maybe draw one or two out and lead them off the edge and dwindle their numbers down. I'm making the plot up here, because I don't know how it pans out. But if you're up in the mountains and you can't get any search and rescue teams up there or any police, you don't get mountaintop SWAT teams. You don't. You would have to call in, especially there, it'd have to be like Dolomite or Alpine, rescue teams who are armed for potential unrest. Because this sort of thing, kidnappings and hijackings and planes being deliberately crashed into the Alps has happened. So you have had to have people who are specialised in putting bullets through bad guys' brains. You have had to have that happen. So the likes of Cliffhanger isn't particularly as if that could happen. Well, maybe that wouldn't happen. A rock jock able to take on all these highly trained, highly efficient, highly armed bad guys. Maybe not. And now we've got a young girl doing it. Young girl? How old is she now? Is she 35, 36? Lily James? I don't know. But you can't make a Cliffhanger movie and not have spectacular deaths and falls and leaps across chasms and stalactites and stalagmites and bats in caves and exploding bridges, bombs and all sorts. You can't call it Cliffhanger. And there's another thing. How can this be called Cliffhanger 2? They haven't changed the title. As of me recording this, that title has not changed. It is still going under the title Cliffhanger 2, which it very clearly isn't, because you've not got Gabe, and anyone related to Gabe is in this movie as a character. So and Stallone's on it. It is not Cliffhanger 2. So is it a reboot? It's neither. It's not a sequel. It's not a reboot. It's its own fucking story. Just very similarly sort of in style to Cliffhanger and Die Hard, of course, and Under Siege and every bloody thing else that came out around that time, which cash-in on John McClane. One man, now one woman army taking on a horde of bad guys. In essence, it's perfect. This is the sort of thing I absolutely adore. Like Commando, Rambo and all that. These are the things that I love. These are the things that put me into the armed forces, things that made me train the way I did to take on adventures and missions that I did do. And, but it definitely is the sort of heroism that you saw on the big screen that kind of fired you up. Oh God, I wish I could do that. And of course, in reality, no one can do that. No one can. Commando, you can't run around with all that amount of armament upon you and stand there, 6'2", 6'3", and then build out even bigger with your big combat vest on, and no bad guy can hit you with one single bullet, while you can take out everybody. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. But great good fun, and it does inspire, So this, let's finish with, I have no problem with Lily James doing it, as a woman. I mean, the character being a woman, the hero. It's ingenuity. Gotta horrible feeling that maybe, and I could be wrong with this, I would long it to be brutal and violent, because Cliffhanger is a massively violent movie. We know the extended work print has a lot more gore in it, a lot more violence, but the footage that you can see on YouTube is deplorable. It never got put back into any Blu-ray of it or any restored copy of it. So the version we've got now is the best you're gonna get, and it's fucking good enough. It really is. But I don't think they're gonna go down that road with this. I think, sadly, it's gonna be more family friendly. I hate to say it, I hate to be that one that does this. There's gonna be many others on YouTube and elsewhere who are going, oh, it's a bloody woman who's doing it now. That's shit. You can't replace Stallone with a woman, a little spindly woman like that, which Lily James is. But you look at those pictures of her, you know, she's taken this mountainside, you know, head on and scaling it. Is she? Is she though? Is she going to break necks? Is she going to put her fingers through someone's eyes? She's going to put an icicle through someone's brain? What's she going to do? Is she going to actually hurt anybody? Or will it just be she'll lead them into trouble with a pack of wolves or the edge of a cliff, whatever, some crumbling ice floe over the top of a lip of a cliff, over the top of a lip of a cliff. God, I need someone to write my dialogue down. Cheers, y'all. So they can't call it Cliffhanger 2. They can't. And I suspect this is going to go nowhere theatrically. I don't know. I would like it to do so, because we're using large format cameras and we're going to put the audience right in there for a visceral adventure. Well, you'll need to be on the big screen to prove that. So maybe it will. But folks, I think this is gonna take a high jump into oblivion. I do. And you know me, I absolutely do not want to be that guy. There are so many other people out there on the platform known as YouTube who do nothing but take the piss out of movies that haven't been made yet. And like, this looks awful, this is garbage, look at that, blah. They've already got their own agenda. Well, I don't do that, you know. And I should by now. You know how much I hate Blumhouse, because Blumhouse let me down so many times. But I feel the pain of that, because I bigged up their movies. The fucking Halloween movies, which I detest, and the fucking Exorcist Believer, absolute shit, taking my favourite things and then pissing poison and toxin all over them. So I now hate Blumhouse, obviously, but that didn't stop me bigging up all these movies beforehand. I'm like, this looks great, I'm excited about this, blah blah blah, and doing loads of build-up videos, and then the end result come out, and I'm like fucking big fat Blumhouse piss and shit on my face. So Blumhouse aside, I do not set out to pour scorn on any movie at all. I want films to be successful. I want to go and I want to enjoy this. Maybe I will. I possibly will. But I possibly won't. I really do have a horrible suspicion that this will be massively watered down. You will not get the violence of Cliffhanger. Because, I mean, Stallone wasn't like a battler. He was a muscle-bound rock jock. But, you know, he was angry and people are being killed on his mountainside. You know, something to prove to Michael Rooker. You know, I can still save the day. Serra dropped, or Bilbo dropped. But, you know, I can still save the day here. And he does, and he gets the shit kicked out of him. Well, Michael Rooker was have a little, you know, Gabe, come here. You reckon you got the shit kicked out of you? Have you watched the film? Have you seen what happened to me on that movie? Because he gets fucking absolutely done in. But he's great. Although I will say he deserved it. If you've ever seen Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, a seminal nasty movie, which I thought was brilliantly done, but absolutely horrific. he fucking deserved everything he got in Cliffhanger. And a bit more besides. Kick him again! Kick him again! Let him see someone else he loves die before his very eyes. Go on, he fucking deserves it. No, Michael Rooker's a great actor. And he plays Tucker really well in this. Tucker and Walker. That's John Lithgow's English accent. It's really... He is just so poking fun at the aristocracy and, you know, and the hoi polloi of the British Empire, of the English establishment. No one in England talks like that. Well, I don't know, maybe a few. But those few that do talk like that deserve to have their teeth kicked out of their face. So I don't think Lady James is going to do anything like the violence and the takedowns and the one-on-ones. But if she does, it would require a bit more ingenuity. Stallone, Gabe wasn't special forces, but he was a big guy and angry and adrenaline, and he was fighting. He was fighting for his own life half the time. Like, so it was just luck. Leon, stalactite, tights go up, mites go. Oh, I always forget which one comes up, which one comes down. And I spent a lot of time in caves as well. Like, I can't remember. He goes, ugh, you know, like spears him, impales him on a big shaft of rock, icy rock. But it's just in extremis. And Stallone's a big guy, so you can believe his character was able to do these things, or a lot of them anyway. And it worked. But she's like that, so how is she going to take down, you know, successive bad guys? It will be traps. It will be leading people onto like maybe an ice floe where the snow, oh, that looks pristine, that's unbroken snow, it's going to be safe ground, but she knows it's unsafe and someone's going to go whoosh, straight through. Or is it going to be just pure Scooby-Doo where no one really gets hurt and the big mastermind behind it all gets unmasked and it's Stallone? Yeah, gonna make some money so well, you know, Tulsa King ain't going nowhere. God, that'd be great. Maybe it's all a ruse. Stallone out, Lily James in, Pierce Brosnan in. But Stallone is actually the big kingpin bad guy behind the kidnapping. That would be great. That would actually fucking work. Bloody hell. And it is Gabe Walker from Cliffhanger. You know, I made no money from this, you know. I lost all my friends, you know. I got arrested and charged for being inappropriate on a mountainside. It could work! My God! Bring Stallone as the bad guy. What's your name again? Holmes. Colette Serra. I know I've mispronounced that first name. I don't care. Like he's going to watch this shit. You can rewrite your script unless I've already fucking sussed it out. Because Stallone as a bad guy in this would be bloody awesome. And it could be Cliffhanger too if it's Gabe. Gabe's gone mad. High altitude sickness. Too many kicks to the head. Yeah. Him and Michael Rooker have come back. Fucking hell. I've just made this 10 times better. 20, 30, exponentially times better than what you're going to see. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Trevor Jones' score does this bounding sort of adrenaline rush momentum of the action scenes, but it always kind of reaches a sort of pivotal moment, sort of like on the cliff edge or hanging like this. I hope you're taking this in, what I did there. Look at his face. No! And who's waiting to catch him? It's a gremlin and a balrog. You're not gonna fall. And I've just realised that Stallone doesn't say that. He says, you're not gonna die. Fuck. Oh well. Shit happens. So folks, I've discussed Cliffhanger 2 again. Film hasn't come out. They're filming it right now, and the director's saying it's all going great guns. He's not going to say anything otherwise, is he? The directorship has changed hands at least once. I think the story is still the same story which was originally written, and then obviously the script's been changed, names have been changed. Sydney, Naomi. Someone let me know, because Variety, in the same paragraph, Variety said he's now living in the Dolomites with his daughter Sydney, but then he get attacked and kidnapped by, with the billionaire's son, get attacked and kidnapped by bad boys, and his daughter Naomi must use all their skills to try and save the family. You just called his daughter Sydney, and then in the next line you called her Naomi. What gives? This is the thing about movies which are being made, or especially when they're in development, where everything is subject to change. The new Wolfman movie. Who's doing it? Yeah. Blumhouse. Bumhouse. What comes out of bums? Shit. So Blumhouse are doing Wolfman, which I've covered. The big trailer dropped just before the trailer for Werewolves. Oh no, Werewolves dropped first, then Wolfman dropped the full trailer, and Frank Grillo in Werewolves looks fucking amazing. I think it'll be a lot lower key than you think it's going to be. It sounds epic, but I don't think it will play out that way. But I deliberately didn't talk about the two films I've been really, massively boosting. Here's me again with bloody Blumhouse boosting a movie, but Wolfman looks diabolical, really diabolical. And you ain't gonna see shit in that movie. The Wolfman himself looks like a down and out who got kicked off the set of Big Trouble in Little China. It's David Lopan, on his uppers, been living in the sewers and the gutters. A bit like their Michael Myers from Halloween Ends. Fucking crap, folks. So I've not talked about those, but this has potential to be interesting at the very least. I want to be surprised. I want it to be, oh my god, maybe she makes her first kill and can't believe she's done it. She manages to stab some guy with a survival knife, and because he's crap on the mountainside, he's inexperienced, and she gets the better of him, kills him, sends his body over the edge, and they're like, I did this, blood on her hands, I did this, I can do it again. Lean into camera, determined look on face, blood smeared down face, knife clenched, right, stomping through the snow. I don't know. Anyway, folks, let me know what you think. I've got a million more ideas rocketing around my head right now. That's just me. But I get excited. And is that a bad thing? At my age, you're meant to be, ooh, gotta look after your health, gotta look after your finances. Well, there's two fuck-ups on my part already. Health, disastrous. Finances, oh, even worse. But my imagination still absolutely does not stop. And because I've done things, and I like to see these things in movies and say, oh no, they didn't use the right equipment there, I didn't do that right, oh, that's tactics. But when things are done right, you go, wow, spot on. Now, there's no reason why Lily James can't do things in this as maybe a woman who's not trained to kill people, but can use the mountains and the terrain to her advantage, whereas they can't. Which is the whole point. She's gonna turn everything on its head, and I like that. You're the expert, but pound for pound against the bad guys, you're nothing. You're just a flea to be stepped on. But because you've got the skills and the know-how and the expertise and the knowledge of the land, you can use that to your advantage and take them down. Now, always love that kind of aspect of stories and real life adventures. And if they can do that and still be surprising and exciting, then hey ho, the bloody thing's worked, you know. Anyway, let me know what you think. I don't wish it any ill harm. I wish it to be great. I don't want them saying, oh, it's going to be a franchise now. We're going to do a Cliffhanger 3. Oh, don't do that. Don't do a Ridley. Oh, God. Or a Blumhouse again, announcing straight away, oh, we're going to do, it's a trilogy. And then falling flat on their fucking face. And well, okay, it's not a trilogy anymore. We have to sack the director and we're going to have to do more rewriting and an entirely new look on this. Because you're idiots. You're fucking idiots. You're creative fucking imbeciles is what you are. You think you're doing something. Blumhouse seem to think that they're like the more commercial version of A24. We've got great ideas and we're going to do something slightly different. But the end product is absolute shit. And it's pure fucking just dross. Badly performed. No, that's a bit unfair. People are doing their best. But it's so badly written. And really, concept and execution is diabolical. You're shit at what you do. You are not A24 who honour their own experimental bravery with what they do by having a talented cast and having scripts which actually work. They may not go where you want them to go. They may not do the things you want them to do. The Green Knight, which I love, but it didn't do a damn thing I wanted to see. But I didn't care. It worked for me. And that's what A24 are like. And yeah, okay, yeah. This is what you think you're going to get. Well, we're not doing any of that. We're going to do our own thing. And you're going to love it or loathe it. But we don't care. We're making this. Whereas Blumhouse tend to do this thing where, oh, we want to like please the fans, but we're going to do our own thing as well. And then, but we're going to also throw some shocks and surprises in there, which are going to rock your world. And then, but we're going to be clever with it. And like, no, you do nothing which wows us at all. You just shit. You're shit at making movies, and you have really bad directors as well. For all those that think like Lee Whannell from Invisible Man is going to make a great thing of Wolfman, well, I do stand to be corrected, but I really don't think so. Teaser trailer, full trailer for Wolfman, both were shit. And the creature effects and the costume for our Wolfman, oh dear God. And a bad misstep there. See, marketing's always bad with Blumhouse as well. They put that out at Orlando, the fucking big horror fest at Orlando, way in advance of the January 17th release of Wolfman. They put that fucking creature in full view of all the lights and all the tourists, all taking paps, and they put it on TikTok and everywhere else, every other platform. And the backlash was immense. People, no, it can't be. That can't be real. Music stop. Let's rectify that. That can't be the real costume. Well, it is. It is the real costume. Because Lee Whannell has gone like, oh no. Oh, I'm giving something different. We've all seen a Wolfman before. Let's do something different with this. This is, what does he call it? A slow generational transformation. What does that mean? Does that mean that our guy gets bitten by his dad at the start when they have their accident? Oh, sorry folks, if you're still here, I know what I forgot to say before, and it was about Wolfman and about the names that are being changed. Again, talking about like Cliffhanger. They originally called our Wolfman in this Larry Talbot, and that was kept up right until literally just before the trailer dropped, and now he's called Blake. I believe he always was called Blake, but they just didn't stop the initial script and cast list character names, which was Larry Talbot. which of course is the original Wolfman, 1941. Lon Chaney Jr. and then Benicio del Toro in 2010. You see, anyway, enough about Blumhouse. Why the fuck did I get onto that? What the hell is wrong with me? Cliffhanger. I know part of that main fanfare sounds identical to Trevor Jones's score for Last of the Mohicans. My God, I have to review that movie. Mohicans with Daniel Day-Lewis under Michael Mann's tutorship and control is one fucking amazing movie. One of the greatest action adventures, outdoorsy movies that we've had. It ranks up alongside all the greats. Visceral, action-packed, thought-provoking, moralistic, and questions your morals as well. With one of the greatest screen villains, Wes Studi as Magua. Oh God. Wonderful cast, wonderful cinematography. Again, a lot of it high up as well. And Daniel Day-Lewis as Hawkeye, aka Natty Bumpass. Not Blumhouse, Bumpass. I know it's a bad name, but hey, it was part Native American. And the tomahawks and the knives and oh God, and the scalpings. Oh, you're like, oh Jesus. All based on, well, Hawkeye's not a real character, but the Nathaniel Philbrick, Nathaniel, who wrote the leather stocking novels, of which Last of the Mohicans is one of them. There's several, and I've got them all as well. Nathaniel Philbrick. God, someone's going to correct me on that. But they're great adventurous novels, and there's been many film versions of Mohicans. Randolph Scott did one as well. Randolph Scott! On Film 4, very, very regularly during the day, there are Randolph Scott westerns. This guy made hundreds of westerns, and they're all fucking awesome. You know, there was one yesterday which I caught a bit of, and he had this fantastic leather jacket on. There's no fringe, no buckskin fringes on it, and it was worn and tattered and torn. It looked like it wasn't just given to him by, you know, costumier, right? Wear this and, like, you know, you look great. Because a lot of like jackets in movies, they've clearly just been given to the actor, right? Wear this. But like Snake Plissken's jacket from Escape from New York, which you barely see. You need to watch the big deleted bank scene at the start, where you see the jacket properly. And oh, speaking of jacket, of that jacket in particular, 'tis here from Wested Leather, who did it when I asked them to do it way back. So can you, because they were doing, well, they created the Indiana Jones leather jacket, iconic from Raiders and Last Crusade. They didn't create the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom jacket, but they do sell it to you. They do a replica of it, but they didn't create it in the first place, and that's the jacket I've got as well. But here's the Snake Plissken Escape from New York jacket. Now, in the movie itself, it is ripped to threads across the back and the shoulders, ripped to threads. Kurt Russell himself, I know I've discussed it a lot, but we're still here, so let's carry on. He, when they're filming in St. Louis, not New York, in a really deserted part of town which had been dilapidated and everyone got evicted, and it was just, it looked like Dresden, it looked like it'd been bombed out, rubble everywhere and deserted tenements. And like when they're filming, and of course Kurt Russell in his, I've got, you know I've got the entire costume and all that, and he just walked off set and he saw like there was a down and out, a bum, you know, probably sitting there, maybe wearing a kilt, who knows, and mountaineering gloves, just sitting there. hey, you know, who the fuck are you? Because he was Scottish as well. And he wore that leather jacket. And Pliskin, Kate Russell went, can I buy that leather jacket? And the guy was like, well, how much? So he bought the leather jacket off this guy, took it back to John Carpenter and said, like, Snake would wear this. And Carpenter was like, yeah, do whatever you want, you know, looks great. And it's only in the movie for a brief bit. In the finished theatrical cut, it's in it for a lot longer in the, if you had the big bank robbery deleted scene. But it's wonderful. Now, I weather my Mad Max jackets. I'm wearing a Mad Max MFP t-shirt right now, just realised. I weather those, I've got several. And the Mad Max 2, Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome and Fury Road jackets are battered beyond belief. Because they've got to be. This should be. But this jacket is so fucking gorgeous and so lovely. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to rip this thread bare. I don't want to do it. So I haven't. So hopefully, you know, as the years go by, I'll have more adventures and be rolling around on a deck and through broken glass and whatever. And it will happen naturally. This is this sequence with Sarah. Gabe, no, it won't take two. And Gabe's like, underneath. God, it's so horrific, this scene. And her teddy bear falls out of her rucksack. And she's hanging like by fingers. And he's like, no. Shh. You're not gonna fall. You're not gonna die. Making a mockery of that. You're not gonna die. Sarah. No, Gabe, no. Michael Rooker, who's her girlfriend, her boyfriend. On the other edge. No, Gabe, no, won't take two. What other chance did she have? She's gonna fucking fall regardless. At least she's trying. You're gonna blame someone. God, it's horrific. Her face, I forgot the actress's name now. It's like, I don't want to die, Gabe. You're not gonna die. And Stallone's superb here. His legs are entwined around the rope, and he's hanging there by one hand, and he's holding on to her. But you know, and you've got the piston system is like piton system, and the rappelling thing, the gear. She's dropped through his fingers. And she's like, and then you got a shot like that. And Stallone's like, no. And Stallone sells it so well. She's great. Because you're like, oh my God, she's going to die. And she knows it. It's like, that's real fear that she puts into it. But Stallone's brilliant. It's like, oh God. And like, you got Michael Rooker, like, Gabe. And Janine Turner and Papa Walton are there, who fly the helicopter. Oh God, it's one of the greatest scenes in cinema. It genuinely is. Superb. Anyway, folks, I've waffled on and gone beyond, way beyond Cliffhanger 2, or whatever they're going to call it. They can't call it that. That's ridiculous. Lily James and the Brosnanites. I don't know. But comment below, let me know what you think about this version, which is coming out. They're filming it right now, and they're really deep into it, apparently. So, and she's wowing everyone with her mountaineering skills. We want violence. We want death-defying stunts. We want to be hanging by our arse crackers, you know, watching this movie, of our heart pumping in our mouth, you know, and real excitement, real adrenaline, and bloody deaths and kills. You cannot make this a cliffhanger movie unless you've got those. You can't. If you're not going to have them, then just call it something entirely different. High altitude. Hi James. Hi Lily. You know. Lily James Bond Brosnan. Fucking I don't know. Right folks, I'm out of here. Please, in the meantime, in this ever death-defying in-between time, please keep it Kilty, keep it Celtic. I'm going to see you all fucking high-rise laters. Yeah. Lily James, Downton Abbey to the mountainside. I do like her. If her hands lose grip, her teeth can catch on, because she's got more than the average human. She and Bruce the shark, no, they're related.